All praises, honor, and glory be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Wahamashiach, Yahweh Shah. Salutation to the Akim that's called into the truth. Peace and blessings to the beloved of the house of Israel scattered across the four corners of the earth. Shalom. Today I'm going into charity. The word charity. And really what it means, and to express how we, as the house of Israel, need to express this a little bit more throughout the camps around the world, throughout the organizations, or if you want to call them your churches, you know, we need to express more charity. We need not the enemy, our adversary, mocketh at us. I'm sure that even in the Lord, we can't get it right. In which He is the chief, He is the head cornerstone. He is the foundation in which holdeth us all up, no matter doctrine or whatever. But let's go into the lesson here, and I'm going to start this off at 1 Corinthians 16 and 14. And it reads, "Let all your things be done with charity." Let all your things be done with charity. Now, this word charity is not like the word charity that is used in the world today, where basically you're just giving goods away or even currency, right? It's not always just giving it. We're going to get the definition accordingly to what charity means. And this is G26. And it reads in the Thaya definition, brotherly love, right off the bat, affection, goodwill, love, benevolence, love, feast. And let's go to the Strong's definition from G25, love. That is affection or benevolence, specifically a love feast, charitably, dear love. All right? And you see benevolence there. And I put that up because I ran up the definition from Google of benevolence. So let me open up a little bigger. It says the quality of well-being. Quality of being well-meaning. Kindness, kind-heartedness, big-heartedness, goodness, goodwill, charity, altruism, humanitarianism, compassion, philanthropy, and more. All right? I just brought that out. So benevolence is basically kindness. And we see that charity, love, from love, that is affection or benevolence. So it's not necessarily you giving something to someone. And yes, you could show your benevolence or your kindness, and you could show your affection through giving goods or currency, or, and you could show your charity in that way, in which the way the world uses it. But we're talking on the spiritual tip and on the spiritual level, that charity in the scriptures, in the Holy Scriptures, mean brotherly love. Let me go to the next scripture I have at the ready. I have this on a different app. And this is going to be 1 Corinthians 8 and 1. Now, as touching things offered unto idols, we know that we all have knowledge. Knowledge puffeth up, but charity edifieth, because charity showeth brotherly love. All right? Knowledge only puffeth up. And to say, now you can express or exercise charity, rather, by showing a brother through knowledge and wisdom and understanding a breakdown or scriptures or a dark parable or a dark sentence. But when it says knowledge puffeth up, as basically you boasting and bragging. Let us show brotherly love. Let us be benevolent. Let us show our affection to our brethren. All right? So let's continue on with the next scripture I have at the ready. And I'm going to pull. This is going to be 2 Peter 1 and 5 through 7. And it reads, and this is how important the charity is, right? For 2 Peter 1, 5, 1, 5th verse. 2 Peter, 1st chapter, 5th verse. And beside this, giving all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity. So charity is up there with brotherly kindness. We just got the definition of love, affection, and benevolence. All those are showing brotherly kindness. And those who are well endowed with the scriptures and those who are not have understanding that love is according to the scriptures is 1 John. 5th chapter. For love is the keeping of the commandments, for it is written, paraphrasing. And when you keep the commandments, Yahweh Shah gave you too. Love the Most High Power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Mashiach Yahweh Shah, which is his name, is Yahweh, with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your power, and all your being, paraphrasing. And the second is like unto the same, love thy neighbor as thyself. Love thy neighbor. Keep the commandments with him. Let's continue on with the lesson of charity and the importance of how important charity is. And let me go to Colossians. Let me go to Colossae right quick. And this is going to be the 3rd chapter of Colossae. And I'll begin this at the 2nd verse. And it reads, set your affection. Oh, no, Salah. It's going to be the 12th verse because I know I have it highlighted. Colossians 3 and 12. Put on therefore as the elect of the Most High, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, forbearing one another, and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Mashiach forgave you, so also do ye. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. Above all those things, put on charity. So as we see, charity is very important. All right. And I like to say something here about the 12th verse in Colossians, the 3rd chapter. It says, put on therefore as the elect of the power, though we dare not make ourselves of that number. But if you have been called, if you got that call, and you tasted of the world to come, you should be walking as though you are the elect. In other words, you do your very best, and you empty out all your strength into this doctrine of truth. Let's continue on with charity and see the importance of it, because it goes back to brotherly love. And this is going to be 1 Corinthians. And we back in Corinth again. All those Corinthians. And I'll start this, 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter, and the 2nd verse. And let's get right to the point. 1 Corinthians 13 and 2. And though I have the gift of prophecy, and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and though I have all faith, so that I could remove mountains, and have not charity, I am nothing. Because charity goes back to brotherly love. 3rd verse of 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, and have not charity, it profiteth me nothing. Now it shows you right here in the 3rd verse of 1 Corinthians, the 13th chapter, it's not talking about giving of goods or monies or currency. He says, and though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned. In other words, the fiery trial that is to try us. Prepare your heart for temptation. And have not charity, it profiteth nothing. Because charity goes back to brotherly love. Love and affection, benevolence. So he can have all those things. But if he have no love for the brotherhood, he keep not the commandment that Yahweh Shah gave him. Is to love one another as he loved us. Let's continue on with the 4th verse of the 13th chapter, 1 Corinthians. Charity suffereth long, and is kind. Charity envieth not. Then we see benevolence mean kind. Charity vaunteth not itself. In other words, he don't puff up. Knowledge puffeth up. Vaunt. If you vaunteth something, you taking the preeminence, right? Is not puffed up. That's the precept to that. The 5th verse. Do not behave itself unseemingly. Seeking not her own, is not easily provoked. Thinketh no evil. Rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth. Beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth. But whether there be prophecies, they shall fail. Whether there be tongues, they shall cease. Whether there be knowledge, it shall vanish away. But charity never fails, as you see, because that is showing kindness, brotherly love, and affection and benevolence unto your fellow brother. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Let's continue on with the lesson and continue with the scriptures that I have at ready. And we're going to go to 1 Timothy, the 1st chapter and the 5th verse, right to the point. Now the end of the commandment is charity out of a pure heart and a good conscience and of faith unfeigned, which means you ain't trying to be tricking the Most High. You can't trick him. Either you have faith or you don't. But faith unfeigned, I mean, you be trying to fiend the Most High. Fiend basically goes back to the word you faking or putting on the act or trying to deceive. But the end of the commandment is charity. Does that mean all the other commandments are done away with? No. He said it's the end of the commandment. All the other commandments still are up, but this is the end of it, right? The final part is charity, right? And we're going to see why charity is a commandment, because it goes back to what Yahweh told you, love thy neighbor as thyself. And especially, as according as he said, who is my brother, who is my mother, who is my sister, those that do the will of my Father, paraphrasing, those brothers definitely should receive charity from any other brother that be in the faith and is of the circumcision, the great and the small. If they out there, whether it be highways or byways, hedges, social media, if that brother is being held up by that chief cornerstone, that foundation, and he prophesied, because the spirit of paraphrasing, the spirit of Yahweh, basically the profession of Yahweh is the spirit of prophecy. Well, that brother deserved charity. He deserved brotherly love, affection, and benevolence, despite whether he rode with y'all or not, despite whether he in your camp or not in your camp. Because when the day turn and when that dark day come, as well as we are in the dark days, a camp is not going to matter. Your church is not going to matter. Your synagogue or whatever you want to call it, it's not going to matter. It's the only thing that's going to matter is that bond of peace, which is in Yahweh Shah HaMashiach. Last verse I want to bring out, and this is in 1 Peter, the 4th chapter, and the 8th verse. And it reads, and above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. What? Charity shall cover a multitude of sins? Did we not just read? Now the end of the commandment is charity. So it is a commandment. And to love thy neighbor as thyself is the commandment that was given from the beginning. I hope this was edifying, meaning to build you up in the faith and in the truth. And I did say one more scripture, but I just got to bring this out. Salak, I just got to bring this out. And I'm going to go back to 13. But you know what? I want to close it with this. 1 Corinthians 13 and 13. And it reads, and now abideth faith, hope, charity, these three. But the greatest of these is charity. Charity is greater than faith and hope. Why is it greater than faith and hope? Let's see. Why is it greater than faith and hope? And which tells me that there's a lot of brothers out there who don't even have the truth or know the truth. They are not of the circumcision, yet they have charity because they show brotherly love. Not even willingly or knowingly. 1 Peter 4 and 8. And this is why that charity is above faith and hope. 1 Peter 4 and 8. And above all things, have fervent charity among yourselves, for charity shall cover the multitude of sins. I hope this is edifying to build you up. Shalom.